I want to be careful with this subject because it has to do with people that I really care about. There's different modes of living in this life. There's survival mode, and we make adjustments in order to make it through. And survival mode can be physically surviving, can also be mentally surviving, emotionally surviving. You can have a world of hurt happening and nobody knows about it, all inside your head, in your body, in your mind. I've been affected by suicide in my life, too many times. Whether it's attempts or successes, it's the people are hurting in this world, and that pain is unbearable. So there's a lot of judgment and hatred around people that are different. This is a message of love. This is a message of acceptance. This is a message of understanding. Hey, Casey here. This is off script. This is no bullet points.
Power off.
This is just me talking to all of you. It is super smoky in here. I've been blazing up some Palo Santo and some incense. I'm Conscious Casey, but I chose that name because I was unconsciously running through my life for a lot of years. I want to be careful with this subject because it has to do with people that I really care about. There's different modes of living in this life. There's survival mode, and we make adjustments in order to make it through. And survival mode can be physically surviving, can also be mentally surviving, emotionally surviving. You can have a world of hurt happening and nobody knows about it, all inside your head, in your body, in your mind. And I want to say that we're all doing the best that we can at every moment. We're all doing the best that we can. And I've always done the best that I can, even though the best I could was not very kind, generous, loving, mindful, skillful. My best was not that at some points in my life. And I have to learn to accept that. This is around what you need to do in order to make it in this world. I've been affected by suicide in my life, too many times. Whether it's attempts or successes, it's the people are hurting in this world, and they don't think they have the connections that they need. They're lacking the physical and mental and emotional connection that they need to survive in this world. And that pain is unbearable. So unbearable that they don't want to be here anymore. And that comes from separation. That is a spiritual emptiness. We have a connection to Source all the time. It is just masked. It is veiled. It is covered, layered with trauma, with limiting beliefs, with self-deprecating thoughts of not being enough, thoughts of not being a part of, thoughts of not being accepted, being abandoned, not having that loving connection and nurturing that we all need as human beings. And I'll just say, whatever somebody has to do to be okay in this world, as long as they're not harming other people, then we need to accept, love, and understand them. There's a lot of judgment and hatred around people that are different. And everybody doesn't have to look like you, and everybody doesn't have to act like you. And I'm not a saint either. I've judged, I've, you know, categorized, prejudiced, whatever you want to call it, to people in my life. And that was unconscious. Those were beliefs and thoughts and impressions on my mind that I grew up in, that I was exposed to, and I've done things that I'm not proud of in that category as well. I send out a heartfelt love and apology to the people that I've hurt. And I have changed, and I continue to evolve and change and open my mind and open my heart and evaluate my thoughts and look at my thoughts as, are these true? Are these my thoughts? Are these full of love and compassion and empathy and generosity and understanding? These thoughts that I'm thinking, or are they full of judgment, hatred, separation, disappointment? Most of the hatred, judgment, and non acceptance of other people has to do with ourselves. We have hatred, judgment, and non acceptance of ourselves. We have wounds that we have not healed or taken care of or looked at. These are generational. These are spread between humans in our society through TV, social media, friends, gossip, just a lot of mindless opinions. And some people just repeat the same things and repeat things that other people say because they think they're cool. But these things hurt, and they alienate, and they create division. And we don't need that. So this is a message of love. This is a message of acceptance. This is a message of understanding. Because I have to say these things because that wasn't me in the past. I hurt people. I hurt the people closest to me as well through ignorance. Ignorance of how to deal with my feelings. Ignorance of repeating patterns, generational patterns, and saying this is the way that things should be. That is wrong. This is the way that things should be. And those weren't coming from my heart. Those weren't coming from a place of love, and those weren't coming from a place of understanding. Those were coming from dogma. Those were coming from indoctrination. Those were coming from special interests. Those were coming from media. And those were also coming from patterns that were given to me as a kid. So it's not your fault that you've done the same thing, but it is your responsibility to raise awareness, raise your consciousness around race, around gender, around people that act differently than you, people that have different interests than you, people that conduct their households differently than you. We're all a human species. We're all on this spaceship called Earth. And our responsibility is to take care of ourselves first and make this vessel and this mind as pure and full of love and honor and sacredness and compassion as possible. So, and the first part of that is to become awareness. Pointing fingers at people and blaming people and accusing people, holding people accountable as far as like in a aggressive, violent way, or with hatred on your lips is not going to change anything. It actually just adds to the pile of shit. Only through showing love, solidarity, understanding, compassion, compassion for the ignorance. Somebody who isn't as capable of learning as you are, do you shame them? Do you point fingers at them? Do you accuse them? Do you blame them? Do you hate them? Do you come at them aggressively? Well, you're stupid. No, you wouldn't do that. This is what we're dealing with. This is what we're all dealing with. And the first thing to do is to take your own advice and show love because they know not what they do. Thank God we're all different. Thank God we have diversity. Thank God we have just creativeness and expression and art, and we can do whatever we want. We can wear whatever we want. We can go wherever we want. We can say whatever we want. We can create whatever we want and design things and collaborate and create new things and revitalize old things and dance and sing and write and paint and build businesses and create economies and you know, and we have order with all this chaos, some kind of order. And we can experience this entire planet. We can go all over and do whatever we want and see different cultures and different ways of life and different ways that they make food and gather together and celebrate and mourn. And let's just zoom out and just look at it all as beauty. It's all a masterpiece. It's all perfect. And we live in a world of duality, a, a, a land of opposites. Up, down, right, left, sad, mad, or sorry, sad, happy, mad, glad, black, white. light, dark. You know what the opposite of depression is? Expression. If we could all express ourselves authentically, depression would be eliminated. The reason why we have depression is because people can't express themselves. Parents are mad. Parents are frustrated. Parents are, they're like, why is my life like this? And who gets the brunt of it? The kids. The kids. Sit down, shut up, act right, quit annoying me. You're embarrassing me. Like, I know some parents that are so awesome. Like, I don't even know how they became so awesome. They must have great parents themselves. But their kids mind so well, and they let them do they're very free and free to express themselves, all their emotions, and run around, and they're not reprimanded for things that I was reprimanded. So it's triggering me when kids are running around and acting up, when it's supposed to be quiet. You know, that's a trigger for me. You know why? Because I wasn't allowed to do that. So if you're triggered by things, just look at your own life, look at your own self, and learn how to integrate those things and accept them parts of yourself that were squashed as a kid. Be quiet, sit still, don't spin around. We don't want to hear you. You want to be seen, not heard. Pull your pants up. Don't wear that shirt. You know, you should do this. You should go to school here. You should get a job here. You're not good at that. You're good at this. Just realize that we were all raised that way, most of us. And now we have complete freedom to be and do and have whatever we want in life. I hope that you figure that out before your 40s. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. I wish you well on your expansion of consciousness, and I'll see you in the next video. Much love.